Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Talks a Lot Boys. I am your host, my name is Tyler, and today I'm once again joined by the boys. We got Kyle.
What's going on, everybody? Nice to see you.
And we got Brennan.
What's going on, folks?
And this is the first time that we are recording with webcams. It's not the first video we've posted where we've used webcams, because that just gives you an idea of how fucking jacked up our recording and upload schedule is. So you've probably seen our faces a few times by now. But as of like us in the moment right now, this is a very big moment for us.
Oh yeah.
So and for those of you who only listen to the Dance Gavin Dance album reviews, this is probably a big moment for you too. It's probably the only time you've seen our faces. I guarantee you haven't seen any of the other stuff we've made with our faces. So yeah, this is what we look like. Yeah. I understand your disappointment, but it's okay. Our voices are the same. Our opinions are still just as questionable as before. And we're gonna dive right on into it, cause you know what we're talking about today? The last album that didn't have Tillian in it, and the last album to have Johnny Craig in it. That's right, is Downtown Battle Mountain 2, baby.
Number 2.
Oh boy.
Woo!
Delicious.
I have always really enjoyed this album, even when I was first getting into DGD, and Brennan told me that I was not allowed to like this album, but I did anyway. And upon re-listening to it today, preparing for this review, I have realized that this album is like basically perfect, and I don't know how we're gonna do this because every song is so good. Like shockingly so. I don't even remember it being as good as it is. Like, it is immaculate.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, like, you two have spent a lot of time with this album, obviously, and I mean, I've said it a ton of times on the show, but I came into this, like, the beautiful world of Dance Gavin Dance when, like, right around Instant Gratification Mothership era, right around when Mothership came out, actually. So, like, I have so much more nostalgia for the Tillian era, which is the now era. But, and I've gone back and listened to the older stuff, but, like, that was back when I first got into this years ago. So, like, listening to this album these last couple days, I forgot some of these songs existed. Like, it was like shocking. I was like, oh, right. I forgot that this song slaps and this whole album is really good. And I just don't listen to it because it's not Tillian, because I love Tillian, but I should because it's yummy.
Oh, man. Let me explain myself.
Go for it.
Back whenever this came out in 2011, I was pretty absorbed in like other bands at the time. So like, honestly, I really didn't give this album the light of day. And thus, when I finally got him into DGD, when he was asking me, hey, like, what should I check out? Like, you know, this band's fucking rad, you know, because I showed him Instant Gratification. And he was like, I told him, oh, well, you know, DBM2, like, you can avoid it, you know. And then he comes back to me and he's like, is it wrong that I, like, really like this album? And, like, I told him, like, well, yeah, of course it's wrong. And then I went and checked it out myself, and I'm like, I'm a complete fucking idiot. So yeah.
Basically the exact same scenario as Acceptance Speech is
pretty much
the exact same thing.
Pretty much, because like 2010 to like 2015, like I was like totally absorbed in other bands, and then Instant Gratification came out, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've been doing this all wrong.
Yeah.
So oh yeah, DGD, man, DBM2, fucking solid record.
And I guess we won't waste any more time talking about how great this is. We're gonna just talk about how great it is at deeper lengths by breaking down the songs.
Oh my gosh.
If y'all don't know how this works, basically on all of these album reviews, we're gonna rank every single song on the album from worst to first. And before we do that, we're just gonna run down a list of the songs in the order they appear, so that y'all know what we're working with. So let's get started. My handy dandy list on my phone.
Whoa.
I can't pretend that I'm just remembering these off the top of my head anymore. It's very obvious I'm reading a list now.
Yeah. We can see our lies.
Yeah, I know. So first up, we got Spooks, followed by Pounce Bounce. Next up is The Robot with Human Hair, part 2.5.
Fucking tasty jam.
Oh yeah, Thug City, Need Money, Elder Goose, Heat-Seeking Ghost of Sex. Speaking of the Heat-Seeking Ghost of Sex, I think it just flew past your camera there. I saw
Big,
some
yeah.
sort of...
There it went.
Gonna go find him some ass.
Blue Dream. Not to say that that's one of my favorite songs of all time, but it's one of my favorite songs
It's
of all
up there.
time.
It's up there. The Tree City Sessions 2 was awesome.
Yes.
It sure was.
Hell yeah, dude.
Frivolously Poncheesied. Still don't know what that means. Swan Soup and Purple Rain, but not that Purple Rain that you're thinking of. It's the other one.
It's the REIGN.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's the
purple
rain.
rain like a king, not rain like precipitation.
I almost said like Atlanta Rain, and then I realized that will hit no one. That's not
Nope.
a reference that anyone will understand.
I was
so.
thinking the same
Is that-
thing. I was like, I'm not going to say that. We
that like
don't listen
esports?
to this, probably.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'll admit it, you know?
I'm a nerd.
So, guys, what? Where do we start? Because, like, I
don't know.
I don't fucking know. I
boy.
love every single song in this album. Like, even more than I originally thought. And, like, I think I only had maybe one complaint about one song in the entirety of my notes. So, I don't know. What do any of you have any suggestions as for what could possibly take the bottom spot?
Well, in order to make this omelet, we're gonna have to crack a few eggs. So
That is true.
I have 2 songs. I want to just kind of spitball at you guys, see how you feel.
Okay.
Because every other song, like, obviously these 2 songs aren't bad, but every other song kind of gripped me a little more.
Yeah.
Spooks and Elder Goose.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say that Elder Goose has some of the least notes that I took. And it's not that, like,
Yeah.
they're bad, but they're still good notes. It's just, like, that song didn't catch me, like, kind of like how you were saying, Brennan.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't really... There wasn't as much to say about it, I think. It was still a really good song. But I don't know. There is one that I'm kind of leaning towards being near the bottom, too, and it's the only one I had, like, a legitimate, like, dislike towards for something that wasn't not Tillian. Because a lot of times this, I'm just like, oh, this isn't Tillian. Well, this sucks. No. But
Wow.
This thing fucking sucks.
I
a
think Johnny
biased
Craig's really
outlook.
great. I think that Johnny Craig has a lot of times where he speaks a lot of stuff that I just don't like as much as just hearing him. Because, like, when he sings, I think it sounds pretty good. Like, I think it sounds really good. But I think a lot of times he kind of leans into just, like, speaking something or almost yelling things at times. And, like, it works for his style, but I just don't personally like it as much. But other than those kind of, like, personal things, the only song that I had something that I legitimately didn't like as much in it was Frivolously Poncheesied. That one. That one that I can barely say.
Okay.
And I will say that the thing I don't like, because it's, like, really the only negative thing I have, is that there's a lot of, like, weird speaking parts with, like, some, like, effects put on them all throughout that song that, like, just happen in the background. And it feels very... I don't want to say thrown together, but, like, it's dissonant on top of each other. And I think that's the point, but it's just not as pleasing as the other stuff on the album to me.
Okay.
Just because of the speaking things. And like I said, that's more of, like, a personal thing, honestly, because, like, it's not
Right.
bad. It's the choice they made, but it's just, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of just how much speaking there was. Because, like, the choruses and the bridge, I think, of that song all had speaking behind them. And I was like, okay. All right. Like, the vocals and everything else happening around them were good, but I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I have a completely different area than both of you.
Nice.
For what
Let's
I
go.
think
Let's hear
should
Let's
be at
hear
the
it.
bottom. And I think, hold on, let me like triple check my notes to make sure.
Because we've made this mistake
That
before where you
I-
talked about the complete wrong song and then you realized...
I've done this multiple times, so I am triple checking. Yeah, I think, and this is my only gripe I wrote about anything in all of my notes at all for any song is that Pounce Bounce is way too short.
I mean, okay.
And
I was gonna say Um, I had Spooks and Elder Goose like the bottom two, and then Pounce Bounce was going to be the third from bottom. From that
Yeah.
for the very same reason, because it's a spectacular song. It grips me way more than Spooks or Elder Goose, but it's just criminally short.
Yeah, I personally think that Spooks and Elder Goose are better than Pounce Bounce, but I'm not, again, like, I think every song on this album is great. I'm not really gonna, like, die fighting for certain songs to be in, like, super specific places. I don't think. Maybe this is gonna be foreshadowing for me having another, like, freak out like last time. but I mean, I don't know, just in my eyes, like, I think that, because I have a lot of notes for Elder Goose and Spooks.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
I have a good amount for Spooks as well, personally.
So
I do
know,
have something I really like about, like, I had a very positive note about Pounce Bounce. If you guys are down to talk about that one.
Sure.
Like,
yeah,
first.
let's just dive into that first.
I definitely think that, like, the shortness of it, and there are things about it that, like, because, like, overall, like I said, the Johnny Craig stuff, I just don't like some of the things that he does with, like, the speaking stuff, as well as there are times in this album I just don't like the way John Mess screams, and I think that's kind of a well-known gripe with this era of DGD, that his stuff got a lot better once the Tillian era started. I think like, I don't know if it was just the way he was doing it or if it was the mixing, because honestly at times it sounds really distant, like he's very, like, far away from everything else going on, like he's in a tunnel or something. It's really weird, like, the way that his screaming's mixed in this. But I this is one of the songs where I marked that, like, I really didn't like his sound in this one, in Pounce Bounce. But the thing I did like, the reason why I don't think it should be the bottom, is that there's the, like, I think it's the chorus of this song. Forgive me if I don't remember everything, because, like, I don't remember this album as well. But it's like they have, like, that da 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 da, like, part, and then John Mess comes in and, like, screams with it.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
where it's like they, like, overlay the like clean vocals and unclean vocals with each other. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
And, like, all the instrumentals are, like, doing their own thing, and all of a sudden they go da 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 da, and they all back go into their own thing, and they come back and they hit all the chords together. Like, everything is just doing these crazy things, and it's, like, constant buildup of, like, things happening and then coming together and hitting these, like, big chords and then coming out, and, like, it is just, like, this really, like, the whole, like, last half of the song has that happen throughout all of it, where, like, the instrumentals are happening and they all just, like, are doing these crazy things, just, like, guitars fucking flying over here, Johnny Craig's just, like, singing his heart out, John Miss is like, bah! And but then all of a sudden they all just lock in so well. And that's something I love about this album altogether, is that it's clean as fuck. Like, the transitions between everything are so good. Like, this album impressed me so much with just how, like, crisp everything was. And that moment where it's just, like, instrumentals happening and it all locks in really hard, and it happens over and over again, and there's just not a step off ever, and it impressed me a lot, and it's just something that, like, I wrote a lot about. I liked it a lot. So, I think that alone, I think, makes this song really interesting. But like I said, I think John Mess, his screaming is not great in this one, and I also think that it's obviously short. So
yeah,
but
and I mean, to your point, like, I agree with, like, everything you said, like, the way that they layered everything, kind of the way that all the instruments are kind of doing these crazy things, and they just managed to combine together in this, like, really unique way. Like, I totally agree with that. But I also think that, like, pretty much every song on the album also does that in like, different ways. I don't necessarily know if I think that this song in particular does it better than some other songs. And, you know, I think we're going to agree that this is going to be on the bottom half of the list, regardless of where we put it. But yeah, I think that, like, yes, there is, like, more good stuff to say than bad stuff about this song, for sure, and that's going to be a recurring theme moving forward, I think.
Very much so, yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, my vote is going to be to put this at the bottom. So unless you guys outvote me to put something else below it, that's just kind of my stance right now.
Well, I mean, for me personally, I'm either leaning towards Frivolously Poncheesied for me because I had like notes about like I really like the transitions and the smooth change ups and everything in it, but that's something that happens in like almost every song on this album.
Sure.
And then I have negatives, and that's like kind of the only time that happens for me in my notes.
Right.
And I just think those speaking parts are really odd, and like that doesn't really happen anywhere else on this album. It's very unique to this song, and I just think a step in the wrong direction overall, personally. But the other thing I'd be interested in hearing about is what you have to say about Elder Goose, Brennan, because that's kind of where I'm in agreement with you, is that one should be lower. I like Spooks a good bit. Like, I could see it being in the bottom half as well, but I don't think Spooks is in the conversation yet, personally.
I could see that. My gripe with Elder Goose is that, like, in an album that's dominated by like riffs and licks and like I said, smooth transitions and stuff, like Elder Goose to me is kind of like more monotonal. Like, it doesn't have like, I mean, there's only like a couple parts where like the guitars and everything, everybody just kind of splits up, does their own thing, but like it all like meshes really well. Mm-hmm. Like Pounce Bounce is like the perfect example of that, and like other songs more so, but since we were just talking about it, like, especially during the verses, like, both guitars are doing different things, but, like, it's still kind of in cohesion. And, like, I just don't get that from Elder Goose. Like, to me, it seems like a lot of it is, like, the song doesn't really change up much, while, like, the rest of the album, it's, like, changing up, and it's, like, intricate, and there's just licks that are, like, ooh, like, why is it so tasty? Like, but Elder Goose, like, I don't get that very much. Yeah. It's not a bad song.
Yeah, and I can agree with that for sure. I definitely think it's a lot less complicated than a majority of the album, like you said. I think that's a reason that it kind of like stands out to me a bit, because it is like the one song that kind of lets you relax a little bit, because it is a lot more stripped down. It is a lot more like focused on kind of just like the clean vocals and just this like really just smooth sound, more so than like constant switch ups and constant experimentation and everything. But like you said, I do think that in an album where that's kind of the focus, that could be seen as like a negative when we're going to have to kind of compare these things on tiny little things like that to kind of separate them. Like, I definitely think that's a valid point for why it should be at least in the bottom half. And again, love the song. It's a great song. But I know you bring up some very good points about that for sure.
Yeah, I have like very similar like opinions to you, Brennan, because my notes are very short and they're all like the exact same like positives that a lot of other songs have, where it's just like the vocals at the beginning are really good, and I like the way Johnny Craig does them at the beginning. I put yet again incredible guitar work, because I think that's what stands out to me, is that this whole album is a Will Swan masterclass. But then, and I also said I don't hate Mess in this. I think the sound in this one I like a lot more than others. But other than that, it's just like nothing really stood out to me. Like, it was very like, you kind of, I don't know if I agree with monotone specifically, but like I get what you're saying. Whereas it's just like there's not a lot of like we often talk about the roller coaster. It was pretty tame with like some little things happening that for me personally, I think those like really awesome complex moments in Pounce Bounce, even though it is short, wins over for me than like the tame, the calm within the storm that Elder Goose ends up being.
Yeah, that's my argument as well. Is like Pounce Bounce is like the cuddler, Frozen one, you know, songs that are really short but just like whoa. And Elder Goose is like the only real intricate part in it, I feel, is the intro, or not the intro, the outro. Mm-hmm. Like, that's like the only real part where like you hear like the guitars like start like picking up a little bit, but like the rest of the song's kind of like chill. Which, like Tyler said, like, it's more of a focus on like clean vocals, and you know, it's a lot more like a chill song. It's like almost like an interlude in an album of like just sheer craziness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, the more we talk about this, like, the more I am on board with putting that at the bottom, if that's where we're heading.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really like Elder Goose.
I feel bad, but
like, it's a good song.
I feel bad too, but like, something has to take the bottom spot, and like, in an album that's only bangers, I mean, something has to just take the bullet. So, do we wanna lock in Elder Goose as number 11?
Oh, baby, let's do it.
Unfortunately, yeah,
we're on our way.
All right, locking that in.
We're kicking the boat away from the dock.
with that, do we want to potentially put Pounce Bounce as number 10?
I vote for Previously Punchy being next.
I disagree with that a lot, though.
Okay.
Because
I'd be curious to hear what
like
you have to
that
say about
song.
it. I think it's interesting. I just think that it's unique and not.
I'm listening to it right now, and I'm just like, ooh.
I'm saying, like, I have a lot of notes. I have a lot of notes on that song. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I have a lot of notes on most of them, but like, I don't know. I think that like it has like the really unique intro, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got like the cool blend of like the super fun guitar licks and like the crazy drums, but they're like mixed in with like the clean vocals and stuff. And I have that listed a lot as like a recurring theme, like how you said that like you think the guitar is like a really prominent part of this album, and I agree. But the thing that I am drawn to a lot more in a lot of these songs, or that I notice a lot more, is just that like the drums are like punchy as hell in this album. Like
100%.
Like to a staggering degree. Like there is not a single song on the album that I don't just absolutely love the percussion. Like it is so good. Also, this album has like multiple rap breaks, which I am
obligatory Will Swan verses.
Always a fan of. And I like how at the beginning of this one it's got the rap breakdown, but then it has Johnny Craig mixed into the background, and like it's just the way it's kind of like going in between like the different vocal styles, and with just the absolute craziness of the instruments with it. It's just it's such a unique sound, and I just love it. And then it just goes into like this huge switch up with John Mess and the unclean vocals, and just the drums and guitar get like even more insane. I don't know. And I think the chorus too is like one of my favorite choruses on the album. It's super, super catchy, and it manages to kind of hit this like weird tone of like it's still really like punchy and driving kind of like a lot of the songs, but it has this like underlying kind of like epic sweeping feel to it also. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's more like powerful, I guess, than some of the other choruses, you know? And there's also like the super, super sick dance beat at that one part. So let's not forget that also happens. And that alone, I mean, dance beats are never not good, right? I think we can all agree.
Although it's not the most epic dance beat on the album, but
it is not. It is not. But it is still a very solid dance beat. I don't know. I really like that song. I don't think it should be
that. I like how before like the first chorus, like after the obligatory Will Swan verse, there's like a building where it's like John Mess, and like you hear like the guitars in the background kind of like frenetically like picking and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden like the drums kick in, and then it's just like first chorus. It's like ooh, like that's so tasty. And then the outro to me is like incredible. It's just like it's so simple. It's just a lick and John Mess, but it like just wraps it up so well.
Oh yeah, no, the ending is like fresh as fuck. Like it is so it's so
like, it's
nice.
just like it's like y'all want to hear some licks? Like it's just ooh.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even do it justice there, but
oh, don't worry, I failed it earlier too when I did the dump dums.
We just need to like make our own version of this album where it's just us doing vocal parts for the instruments.
Well,
oh my god.
We're like an acapella DGD group.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So for me, I cannot put previously next. I just can't.
No, I can't either. So
you've sold me on it for now. So we'll see. We'll see how far it lasts.
I listen to this song like on repeat, like while you guys are talking about it. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, like it's really honestly because like we've all admitted to listening to some of the music while we talk about them too, and it is really hard for me to listen to anything and you guys talk good things about it, and me go, no, it's still bad. Like it's really I'm just like I'm vibing to it. I'm hearing you guys talk about the good things as I'm hearing it. I'm just like, yeah, all right, let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like I'm trying to be analytical, but like this album doesn't have a song that I'm just like no, like
yeah.
I mean, Elder Goose. Like the only reason I think it's the worst is because like so many other songs just like way up the game for me.
Yeah.
Man, next though.
I mean, other than that, I could see Pounce Bounce going next. Yeah, I could get down.
That's what my vote's gonna be. So
we always, in the other reviews, we've always talked about how DGD has a song that's just like criminally short.
Yep.
And this song is a damn tasty jam, but it falls under that category for me. Even though like the licks and stuff put it over Elder Goose, but I can't put it really ahead of anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for me, maybe Spooks, but I mean, I don't know. That song has a lot going on too, so I can't really make that argument either.
Do we want to talk about Spooks now, or do we want to lock in Pounce Bounce and then talk about Spooks?
I say let's lock in Pounce Bounce.
Yeah, I think I'd put Spooks over it, even if it is next or not.
Okay. Cool. All right, we'll lock in Pounce Bounce. Let's talk about Spooks now, since we're kind of on the topic.
Let's do it.
So Brennan, why do you dislike Spooks?
It does have the obligatory Will Swan verse to like kick off the album, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
It's not. I mean, just listening to the album like in whole, I feel like the Robot with Human Hair I feel like Thug City would have been a better album opener.
Yes, exact. I have that in my notes. I'm like Thug City should have been the album opener.
I have it too.
Because it does not make any sense to me why it's not,
thank you.
or why it's like not even second on the album. Like it's just in the middle, and it makes no sense.
Like I could see
honestly,
it even being second.
I had gotten into this weird headcanon because I don't listen to the album like as a whole a lot. I had just kind of thought that it was the opener because I haven't listened to it from start to finish in such a long time. And I went back and I'm like, what the fuck? Like why is it in the middle? It makes no sense.
It's the fourth song. This makes no sense.
Yeah, that should be the album opener. 100%.
I mean, Spooks. I guess. I mean, other than like the transition like between like the Swan verse and like getting out of it, like to me, like there's not like a ton that goes on in this song. Like a Thug City, I mean, that's just a fucking bop. I don't want to get into it too much, but like there's so much more going on. I feel, and like it would have just been a better album opener. But that's like really my only complaint with the song.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this song, because like I know we said that Thug City makes more sense. I mean, and I think that's mainly because of the intro. I mean, I think we can agree. I mean, I could even have seen it being the second song because like you know how like a concert starts, they could come out and play the thing like their first song without saying anything, and then they'll say something. So like even number 2, I would have like been like, oh okay, I guess I see what they're doing. But like it's weird. But in general, I do think Spooks is a really strong opening. Like there's a lot of just absolute power that hits you so fast in this song. Like the very beginning is like kind of light, and then it just punches you and doesn't stop for quite a while until it breaks down with the Will Swan stuff. But I will say that like in general, all the moments where it is really hard hitting in this song, it feels a little unclean. I know I was just saying how like this album feels very, very crisp all the time, and this is one of the only times where I'm just like, oh, this feels like they're just throwing it at you. And it's not that it's bad, it's just like it's all kind of hitting you, and it's just like a wall of sound almost, then like a bunch of intricate things happening all over the place. I will say though, one of those things that is happening is the drums, and this might be my favorite song for drums on this whole album personally. The drums, especially near the ends of this song, the drums go hard. And then I made another note under it that said really fucking hard, because like by the end it's just like they're absolutely I know. Understand. Like it is baffling some of the fucking things I hear out of that man's feet and arms. Like I don't know what to do.
Like the drum part just escalates so exponentially. By the end of the song, it is insane.
I mean the rap part too.
I think that and yes, obviously, and the rap part.
I like these raps a lot more personally than what was the last song we were talking about with it?
Previously Punch Easy.
Yes, that one. Yeah,
sure.
Yes, I think that was it. I think the raps in this one are way better personally. I like when he's very forward and they kind of do stuff around him versus it kind of being like him with everyone else. But I think that might just be a personal thing. But
Eagle versus Crows.
Yes. But I mean, that's where I stand on this one. I think it's kind of mixed for me because like I think there's really great things happening. One of my favorite moments in the whole album for drums, a really powerful opening, but almost like just a wall of sound powerful, not like crazy intricate stuff powerful, if that makes sense, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see all of that both of you said. I can I can get behind all that. Cuz the thing is like I like it because of I mean, it's not a bad song, but like yeah, I think I really just like how much it kind of like switches up and throws all this different shit at you. But like you said, I mean, there's songs on the album that do the same thing but like better, arguably. So like I can get behind the idea of it coming up soon for sure.
I don't know if it's next though.
I don't know if it is either, but at the same time, I don't know what else would be.
Yeah.
So the only way be next.
The only way I'm leaving is Previously Poncheesy, but like you've sold me on that enough that I'm mixed.
Yeah, I definitely I would not put Poncheesy.
I would definitely put Spooks beneath Previously.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For sure.
Like 1,000%. So I think that means we're gonna be locking in Spooks at number 9.
Okay.
I think that's where we're at.
I don't hate that.
I can't justify bringing it over literally anything else.
Yeah, and like the more we talk about it and the more I kind of peruse my notes on other songs, like yeah, it's a good song. It sucks we have to put it this low, but like them's the breaks when you're on an album full of nothing but bangers. So I mean, got to make some hard choices here.
I will say though that before we move on from Spooks is the note I made is for this is the moment that the heavy shit at the beginning ends and there's just Will Swan kind of and everyone else kind of doing the little things around him. I put this is the beginning to the master guitar clinic from Will Swan because this is I say it almost every time we talk about Dance Gavin Dance, but holy shit, Will Swan tears it up in this album. It is just
yes, he does.
It's in this album. It's my favorite part of the whole album is his parts. No joke.
Yeah,
I think it.
Yeah, I think his licks and the drums are like the two like most like prominent things.
Definitely,
100%.
And like for me, I like the Matt Mingus skin smacking a little bit more than Will Swan, but it's very close. It's very close. They were both very, 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 very prominent and very well done on this album for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, where are we going next, huh?
That's a great question because boy, do I not know.
This isn't good, folks.
No, it's not. Do we want to do a round of tabling, even though we like just started? It feels like. Do we want to just?
I think we have
throw
to
some shit away so that we can narrow it down. Okay. What do you got, Brendan? We'll start with you. Table something.
Oh man, this is tough. The Robot Human Hair Part 2.5.
Tight. Okay. Kyle, table something.
Need Money.
Tight.
Ooh, all right. Hell yeah. Good taste.
That song, bro.
That song is like a surprising bop. Like
100%. I don't remember it, and I listened to it, and I just stopped listening to the album and listened to it 5 times. I was just like,
dude, Need Money is just wild. Like,
I was like,
shit is
what's
wild.
happening?
Yeah, basically. I'm gonna table Heat-Seeking Ghost of Sex.
Interesting.
Okay.
I expected you to table not that.
Yeah, you expected me to table Blue Dream.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't pick Blue Dream because I thought you were gonna table Blue Dream.
Since that was such a given, I don't feel the need to have to table it because I know for a fact that it's probably not gonna be.
Yeah, I think as a group we could probably table Blue Dream.
Yeah,
I do not think it's in the bottom half.
That leaves us with Thug City, Frivolously Poncheesied, Swan Soup, and Purple Rain for the next 4 spots.
Boy.
Okay, this is a little bit more manageable. We can at least like get some battles going here.
Okay.
Who do we want to throw into the ring first?
I
know we've already talked about Frivolously Poncheesied, so we'll kind of hold off on that for a second, I think.
I have a hot take.
Yeah, hit me with it.
I think it should be next.
You think? Oh, you think? Wait, really?
Previously?
Do you really?
Oh man, that's tough.
The other one I'm leaning towards, and no matter what I say here, you're gonna get mad, and that's gonna keep me sane.
Don't fucking piss me off, Kyle.
I'm kind of, my heart is leaning me towards Swan Soup a little bit.
Honestly, that's kind of where I was going too.
What the fuck?
If I'm being perfectly honest. And that's not to say that Swan Soup is bad.
It's incredible.
It's so good. But that is the one that I have like the least amount of notes on.
That's also another one of the ones I have lower notes
stick out
for.
To me.
That's why I said it, is because I'm looking at my notes and all of them, it's like half the size of other one. That one and Elder Goose are my two lowest notes. So
like,
that makes sense.
Swan Soup is a good song. I think that the reason I don't have a lot of notes on it is just because like at this point in the album, it's doing all the things that I like, but I've already kind of talked about it at length with every other song. Because like I don't necessarily think it's doing anything dramatically different in the realm of like blowing my socks off. It's taking the formula that blew my mind every time up to this point, and it's just doing it again. The only note that I really put down was that like the guitar thing that's like 3 minutes in is like dope as hell.
Oh yeah, that's
like
one of my
really stood out to me. And again, song is not bad. Song is very good. Song is muy caliente, as they say in some country.
Muy bueno.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't justify putting that above Poncheesy or Thug City.
I think
in
that
my mind,
the only thing that's keeping me, the only reason I'd put Swan Soup over Poncheesy for me is that I think the guitar and the bass are fantastic in Swan Soup, and I think everything else happening it is very kind of like you were saying, Tyler, where it's like it's similar things that are happening on this everywhere else on this album. The guitar, and this is the song actually that I have like the biggest note about, like the bass standing out to me, like kind of how we were talking about earlier. I think the bass riffs in this one are some of the best on the album, which is why this song is like why I'm kind of not sure if it's next, because I think this is the strongest bass song. And I think the guitar in it slaps. I mean, the name's Swan Soup, like, come on. But
yeah,
and I do think there are fantastic riffs in it. But other than those two things, I think it's very similar to a lot of other things happening on this album, like we've said a lot of times. Right. It's between this and Poncheesy for me next, personally.
I mean, I could get behind having both of those be next, but if that is the route we're going, then 100% Swan Soup has to go under Poncheesy.
Man,
in my eyes,
I could see that. Man, Swan Soup, the intro and like from 2 minutes to 3 minutes is just Will Swan saying, "Okay, this song has my name right. I need to just go ham. Like I need to put the absolute maximum amount of technicality and just like just licks." And there's even a breakdown with like the pulsing bass.
Yeah.
Like
I love that shit.
It's so tasty, but it's like the rest of the song doesn't really match up. Like the chorus is okay. Like other choruses in this album just fucking slap the shit out of it, I think. So
yeah. I do think Johnny Craig's voice kind of soars in this chorus more so than its other moments a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think in general, I think the other choruses are just way more catchy and hit me hard. And I'm like, oh shit, that's this. Like, I don't remember this chorus, but I remember like Robot with Human Hair and like Need Money like a lot because like they hit you so hard. But that pulsing bass shit, man, I think that like that moment as well as like all the crazy guitar shit in this, I would personally put it over Poncheesy. So I'm voting for Swan Soup and then Poncheesy.
Okay, Brennan, I guess you're the tiebreaker.
You can watch the pain on our faces now. It's great.
Swan Soup next, previously right after it. Yes. Because previously, like, dude, like that, Like before this, like I would like repeatedly go back and back and back and back to that song. And
Yeah.
like Swan
Yeah,
Soup, not so much. But
Yeah.
Swan Soup, like I said, there's only 2 parts of like extreme technicality, and then that's about it.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
Yeah, I can agree. So that means that if everything that we tabled before is still tabled, the next 2 spots are going to be Purple Rain and Thug City. So this is our next battle that we're going to have.
I have no idea which one of these is lower. Legit, I love both of these songs.
Yeah, I like both of them too. I have more notes on Thug City. That doesn't really mean anything.
I think I do too. Hang on.
I can't really say anything about Purple Rain too much though, because like, admittedly, the reason I don't have a lot of notes for that one is because I don't have any notes for it because I went to the bathroom in the middle, like at the tail end of my listening session, and then like actual work was happening, and I just forgot to come back and actually review that song. So I know I like it because I've been listening to it for years. Do I remember why? No, because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Well, I'm not lazy. I was making money, but like I didn't do my job here. So
right.
So I'm gonna kind of put this in your hands. I'll give you my my 2 cents on Thug City when it comes up.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna give too many opinions on Purple Rain because I dropped the ball.
Dropping the ball big time.
Mm-hmm.
There's one guitar part, and the bass also kind of has like a funky little bass line, literally at the 30-second mark. That is just like, it's one of like the most unique things I've ever heard. Like, I don't know if you guys remember. I might
Was
be
that
an
it?
attempt.
Of which one was
during
it?
Purple Rain?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is
Yeah,
that
during
like
Purple
the weird like Egyptian sounding thing?
Yeah, like the guitar, it's like whining, and then there's
Yeah.
like I just remember hearing that.
That
I'm like,
part sticks out so hard. Like even though I didn't even listen to the song today, like I distinctly remember that part. Like whenever I think of that song, I just think of that specific part.
however, that and then like the choruses are good, but then like the rest of the songs kind of, I don't know. To me, there's like not a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I would agree with you that like I think the standout moment in that song is the Egyptian part, or however we will refer to it. I also have a vibra slap, which immediately gets bonus points for me. There's a vibra slap in that moment. So I mean, like, and everything happening in that part is really awesome. Like all the licks leading right up to the moment where he gets all like the whining guitar and stuff. The ending of a song though, fades out. And that's very interesting because this album constantly ends with them just like hanging on a note and then just stopping. Like a lot of songs do that where they're just like, ah, and then it ends. And it's like, oh, and this one fades out. And I really like that. I think that's a really nice way to wrap up an album that is very abrupt, very punchy, very crisp, and then it's a very soothing ending. I also think that like the kind of wind down of this song, it's not an album ender that builds to the ending and then just is a release. It's like a wind down, and that's not something they really do a lot as a band. And I thought they did it really well. I liked it more than I thought I would. So overall, I really like it as an album ender. I think it's very weird, but in all the right ways. I also think Johnny Craig's vocals, as well as the way John Mess sounds in this one, I like them both on this a lot. That the song specifically. So I really like Purple Rain. But I also really like Thug City, so I don't know.
See, to me, in a Purple Rain versus Thug City matchup, Thug City stomps.
Does it really?
am kind of gravitating toward that thought process also.
Because, like, the chorus is way catchier, licks way catchier. Like, like it's just...
Thug City to me is just like a DVD
should have been the intro of the album,
like,
way catchier. Like,
yeah. Thug City is just such a good song. Like I don't have any gripes with Thug City at all, like period. And I think the fact that like Purple Rain isn't like, it's not forgettable because I always remember that one distinct part, but like the fact that I've listened to that song probably like 100 billion times and I don't actually remember the entire end of it because I didn't listen to it today Whereas like Thug City, I always remember all of it because I think it's just a more well-developed song. In my gut is yelling at me that Thug City needs to be above Purple Rain. I think Purple Rain should be next.
Okay.
The more that we kind of talk about this.
I don't think I agree, but I'm outvoted. But like I said, it's really close.
Fair enough.
The chorus of Thug City alone, I think wins. Because I think other than the chorus of Thug City, nothing really stands out to me super much. Kind of similar to how like Purple Rain, it's that intro that stands out to me most, and everything else is good. Thug City, the chorus is really good, and everything else is just good. Like
I think the best part of Thug City is like, and again, for the millionth episode in a row, I'm gonna talk about how I love shit that like breaks itself down and builds itself back up, and at like 2 minutes in, when it just everything drops down and it goes into this just super epic build up, and it just like surpasses the intensity of where it was before. I think that just makes the song and like takes it to the next level, like more than it already was. That wasn't really a good sentence, but you get where I was going with that.
I was gonna say the same thing. I think after the chorus, whenever like everything like strips down, it's just Johnny Craig and like, you know, like one guitar like kind of like playing along, but like really stripped down. And then it builds. You hear like the guitar is kind of like not like note wise, but like there's kind of like shredding in the background, and then boom, like the last chorus hits, and it just has so much more of a punch.
Yeah,
definitely. Man, that's just such like an epic setup to me, and like to me, it's like a way better way to end the song than like Purple Rain is like fading out. However, Purple Rain fading out is definitely unique because I can't even name off the top of my head another song where they've done that, like just a fade out. But
technically, Blue Dream does that, but then it picks up with the weird like phone line at the end.
So
it like cuts it out.
Yeah,
but.
I think there might be one other song that does that, but I can't remember what it was. But it's like not as like drawn out of a fade as like either of those other songs are. So So here's my thing, right? Because I really do like Thug City, and for like the chorus in particular, I'm gonna get nerdy for a second, all right? So the chorus, like often in like songs and shit, they emphasize like the first beat of a measure, and like that is why any chorus feels really powerful to anybody. Sometimes they'll do 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, or maybe 1 and 4, but it's like almost always 1. And in this chorus, they change up which beat is emphasized the entire time they go through the chorus. Like the next time the chorus comes around, it's beat 2, and then the next time it comes around, it's the end of 3. It's like really random, and they like it's like this crazy like flowing like waving like power that is so cool. Like that alone of Thug City is so fucking cool because it's just something that doesn't happen anywhere else on the album. And I think that's something that's really cool about this whole album is that like every song has like this like little cherry on top. There's like, this song's great, but also here's a really weird chorus. And it's like, oh no, let's go. And that alone stands out to me so hard. Like more so than the fact that like the whining guitar and the fade out to me as well. And I mean, the more you guys talk about it too, I'm obviously outvoted, and I think that probably beats that a little bit. It's close though, because I do think Purple Rain's a great album ender, but but
I just can't envision a world. I can't envision a world where Purple Rain is a better song than Thug City. I just can't.
I can't either because it's a lie. So like there are some battles in ranking these songs that are just like there is an obvious winner that will win every time, and this is just one of those matchups. So it's done, and I think that I don't think Thug City is going to get any higher.
No, I don't
than
think
5. So I think we're just going to lock that in also.
I would agree.
And I guess, Kyle, if you're on the same page as me, then Brennan's thoughts don't matter in this.
Oh,
at
no,
all. So,
I was thinking the same thing. Cause, like,
okay, good.
I mean, maybe. Oh, fuck. I can't. No. Yeah, lock it in a 5.
Yeah, okay.
Do it.
Cool.
Do it.
That means that we are on to the final 4. We're just going to hit. We're going to hit everyone with. I know we are going through this smoothly today, boys. Hell yeah.
We're actually not like hating each other right now.
I told we had a mini conversation before this started. I was like, boys, we can't have a repeat of the acceptance speech one. I had to cut out like an hour of that shit. And it was still 2 hours long. Can't have that anymore.
Not gonna happen.
We gotta be efficient, and we were doing a great job. All right, I'm gonna do a recap before we get into the final four. So 11 is Elder Goose, 10 Pounce Bounce, 9 Spooks, 8 Swan Soup, 7 Frivolously Puncheesied.
Nice.
6 Purple Rain, 5 Thug City. We are left with The Robot with Human Hair, Part 2.5, Need Money, Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex, and Blue Dream. My 2 favorite songs on the album have made it to the final 4, so I'm happy. I'm a happy boy.
my 3 favorite songs have made it, and then like my surprise bop has made it. So I'm like, damn, I'm happy.
So, where the fuck do we go from here?
Legitimately no clue.
Because, man, do I not know.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
This is
know,
one of the
dude.
toughest top 4s we've ever had, I think. All of these songs could easily be like the number 1 song of an album. And one of them will be the number 1 song of this album. But, like, goddamn, it's impressive as fuck that they managed to make so many songs of such high quality on the same album.
Man.
That makes our job super difficult. Sometimes I kind of like when they're shitty songs, you know? Makes our job just like a little bit easier. You
Throw them out of here. I don't want them.
Yeah, it's just like a gimme at like the last 2 final like lowest 2 spots. I'm like, all right, we got that was out of the way. But oh shit.
Is anyone leaning any way at all?
No, not even at all, actually. I feel like... Fuck. Because, I mean, obviously, I have a really, really, really strong and unhealthy bias toward Blue Dream, and to a slightly lesser extent, Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex, because those are the 2 songs that I, like, constantly, consistently come back to from this album, like, all the time on, like, a weekly basis. And obviously, like, Blue Dream is, like, one of my favorite songs of all time, which means my views and opinions might be skewed in talking about them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm afraid to, like, start talking about something because I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how I feel. I like everything. I don't know. This is a crisis.
We are in a crisis.
Yeah. This is DEFCON 1.
Man.
I feel like we need to just start talking about a song.
Okay.
And just kind of feel something out. So is there any song that you want to just start gushing about?
Need Money.
All right, let's do it. Let's open up this box.
I feel like Need
stuff.
Money is like the underdog. Like,
I can feel that. And I've never wanted an underdog to win so bad.
because I mean, my only complaint,
right?
my only complaint with Need Money is John Messa's like vocals sometimes.
Yes,
Like,
that is my complaint.
granted, his lyrical like just epicness is like on full display. Like, I gave my liver to the football team. Fucking, like, I can't even get into all of it, but like.
Yeah.
It's just like how it sounds. Like, it doesn't really take away from it, but it's something I notice. But the song has like, it's like a breakdown. Like, I can't even.
Yeah, like the whole thing is almost like a continued like vibing breakdown. It is holy shit, dude.
And then like the intro where it's just like the guitar just like starts like right off the bat, and like John Mess is like leading you into it, and then like it kind of sets it up where like Johnny Craig comes in, and like you kind of hear like the main like riff like go out of the background, but it's like not like set up yet. Like, man, like there's so much to unpack with this song, and it's the shortest one of the bunch. Like,
that's true.
Yeah, I think like this song is just like one of the weirdest, wildest DGD songs to like ever exist, which is really saying something, considering like they just make weird shit. But like, and I think the fact that like John Mess sounds the way he does in this album like adds to that too, because it's just very like there's so much of him, and it's just so many weird lyrics doing like weird beats, and it's just this like cacophony of just different sounds like mixing together. Like it is simultaneously it's basically just like constantly switching up, like constantly, like it is going back and forth between like John Mess and Johnny Craig. It's primarily John Mess, and like it manages to just kind of be like, I don't know, like it's always just keeping you on your toes from like the beginning to the end of it.
Yeah,
it's just encapsulating like all of these different, things. And it feels like I'm having a panic attack when I listen to it, honestly. But it's like the best panic attack I could ask for. It's like the one panic attack that you want to have in life.
This is the panic attack I want to wake up to every day instead of the one that I actually wake up to.
Yes, exactly.
I also feel like this is like the love letter to Secret Band of this album.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if there has to be a Secret Band comparison on the album, this would be it.
Yeah, because this song's like completely dominated.
I don't think that it feels like a Secret Band song. I don't think there's
no,
a direct comparison to make there.
This song is just completely dominated by John Mess.
It's that, yeah.
Yeah, like, because John Mess literally, like, from start to finish, except, like, a couple, like, random parts with Johnny Craig, like, John Mess dominates this song.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking tasty, like...
It's really cool because like it almost feels like it's a fucking like boxing match or like a monster truck rally, and then fucking Johnny Craig comes in and he's got like this like almost like announcer voice effect on him where it's almost like he's just like, all right, everybody get ready, we're gonna fuck shit up, and then he goes right back into it. And it's just like,
honestly, that is like the best way of putting that too.
Because he's like got this crazy effect on him where it sounds like he's coming over like an intercom, and it's just like, we're going again.
And then like when he comes in, it just hits you with like the bah, 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 like that part. Like, oh my god, like it really does it. That is just, it's so accurate. I get it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And here's the thing, right? Is because you guys were talking about how like it's almost like a cacophony at times, and like it gets to points in it where like it's like constantly changing up, and then it hits like this moment of just like them just like fucking like riding the pickup, the strings, just like it's just actually fucking white noise, and then all of a sudden it like builds out of it in the last second back to the dun 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 dun, and it's just like, and every time that comes back too, Will Swan is just like hitting a new riff in the background of it, like halfway, like because like the first time he's part of it, and then the next time it's going on, he's just like, and I'm like, what's happening? This is just I'm getting attacked from all of my pores are exploding. I don't know what's happening. I can't take it. And it's, oh my god, I literally started the notes for this one with, God, those riffs at the beginning are ill, and I've never used that to describe anything in my life, but it fit for this. Like
they are the illest.
Gosh, dude.
Like,
oh my gosh, like I've never used ill to describe anything, but like it's the first thing that came to mind. It was just like, this is fucking ill, dude.
Oh man, like this is unwell.
I hate that, but I agree with it so much.
It is just like,
that's so ill, bruh. Oh my god.
If we are saying that, like, if we were to lump it in with like the Secret Band songs, this, in my opinion, is the best one of all of like the Secret Band like tributes in my mind, at least so far from the ones we've reviewed.
I would say that's probably because it's the least like an actual Secret Band song.
That's
fair. The ones that we've lumped into that boat.
It's crazy because it doesn't have like chugginess. It's just like it's just like a mean riff that like is like broken down. Like, ooh.
Yeah, it is the most melodic chuggy breakdowns I've ever heard, because like I instinctively wrote down chuggy and I went, well, like it's actually very like built out and like well like written, because like there's a lot of notes happening that are all going together, but it's still just like fucking punching you. It's just like a really great blend, because this band does a lot of like cool stuff, then like a breakdown moment, and then changing up to something completely different. And I think this song is so cool because there are change ups, but it's like every sound that they do mashed together. It's so cool. And I didn't expect to feel this way about the song, because like when I think about this album, I think of like Blue Dream and I think of Robot with Human Hair. Like those are the two that absolutely come to mind first. But like, damn, man, this song, like I said, I kept listening to it over and over because I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, man.
Oh, fuck.
Well, we talked about one song, and I don't want it to be next now.
one.
So
no negatives, so that's great.
Nothing. No.
well, we did say that we didn't like the way John Mess sounded in this, and I mean, like,
Yeah, but we don't like the way he sounds in any of these.
That's
I mean,
also
I guess
true.
you could say that like he sounds the best in Blue Dream because he's barely there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah,
though,
it's more like a complimentary role.
Honestly, though, I think he does work the best in that song because he only comes
does.
in for like the and let's just talk about Blue Dream since we're kind of segueing into that. Like,
Yeah, let's go for it.
but because like the way that they use him in that song, I think is like the most effective use of John Mess on the album, personally. Because
fair.
he's not the focus of the song. The focus of the song is 100,000% Johnny Craig.
Oh, absolutely.
And just those smooth, tasty grooves, and his just smooth, sultry voice. Like, that is just like, if I had to describe Blue Dream in one word, it would be smooth. Because it's just, it's what it is, man. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
And I love the way that, like, at the end of the chorus... because, like, you know, the verses are all very... very slow, very, you know, smooth. But you know, you get into you get into the chorus, and then it starts to kind of like pick things up. You know, you get, you know, more of like an intense beat going, and then it just kind of keeps like steadily picking up, and then you get to the end of it, and it sounds like John Mess comes in and it starts running away with the whole thing. Like the drums just start picking up, getting way more intense. And John Mess starts screaming more and more and more and more, and then it just drops off, slows down right back to where we started. It's just so good. And then the second time they go through that, instead of just dropping you off back to like, you know, smooth Central Station, they take you to like the tastiest disco sex jam like ever in the band's history almost, you know? Like the whole second half of this song is basically just an extended disco sex jam, and they even bring John Mess in to the end of it more and kind of pepper him in throughout it to kind of just give it a little more punch at the end, you know? I think that just like at every turn of this song, it just does everything so well. Like there's not a single part of this song that you can say they did something wrong. Cause like even like when they get to a point where it's like, okay, like, I can kind of see the formula they're going for here, you know, like, they've done the chorus twice, you know, but then they, like, completely switch it up with, like, that disco shit, and it's like, oh, okay, subverted my expectations again. And then even in that, they switch it up, like, another time within the disco sex jam at the end, and then they hit it with a really, like, funny phone bit at the end, too, which is, like, I will be distraught if this is not number one, but also I know that I will probably vote for something else to be number one because I just like all of these songs so much. But like, goddamn, talking about Blue Dream just makes me want to go listen to Blue Dream for the 870 billionth time.
Yeah,
I'm listening
to it right now.
I love it so much. It is one of my favorite songs ever made by DGD or otherwise. It is just one of my favorite songs.
I think that a lot of songs from DGD have good vibes, like really good vibe moments. This might be the best one, like of a DGD song, and that's coming from me, who like is a Tillian era stan. Like I love the vibe of this song. I also really loved it when Tillian did it, a lot. But I also like Johnny Craig's version of it. I think that this is one of those times where I think that like because Tillian did it in a higher key, because like he even said he was like, thank you everyone who brought it up right the last second, and everyone else had to suffer because he was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too low. And he said it on Twitter at some point afterwards. But I think Johnny Craig fucking kills in this song. This is like, because like every song I like enjoy him in it, but this is the song where I'm like, I like Johnny Craig, and I don't have that happen in any other song. I'm just enjoying his way he's blended into things. And this one, I'm just like, he's standing out to me as really good, and it's awesome. And like you were saying, the John Mess like is really put well into this song as well. Like, I think it is one of the best. I think there might be one other one that I kind of feel like he works well in as well, but we'll get to that as we talk about the other two. It's one of those two. Oh my goodness, who's it gonna be? But I also, it is like, I wrote down, it's one of the iconic Disco Sex jams. And
for sure. It's like the OG Disco
Sex
It's
is
the
the
OG Disco Sex jam. Like,
yeah.
get you some.
So,
like,
I mean, like, my only gripe is that if you answer a phone and they say, "What color are your fucking eyes?" Who responds? Who? Me? Who else is on the fucking phone, dumbass?
She said mine, but same vibe.
Who mine? Right.
still,
sorry.
like-
but
it's like, yeah.
Because I'm
who
like,
else
what
would you be talking about?
Because I'm like, oh, maybe she didn't hear him. But she goes, who? Mine. And I'm like, wait, so you know what he said? And your first reaction was like, wait, whose eyes? No, it's you, the two of you on the phone. It's obviously your eyes. Song's the worst song. Put it number 4. But that's literally my only gripe with it, because like that's just an odd reaction. But
yeah,
actually,
part of the song that's not part of the song is
exactly,
your gripe.
exactly. Which is why what I mean to say is it's a fantastic song. I definitely think. Oh, man, I'm gonna say it probably every time we talk about a song, but I don't think it's next. I really don't think either of these two.
Let's say this. Let's just do this because we talked about 2 songs already. Do you think Blue Dream is better than Need Money? Let's try to break this up into as minuscule segments as we can.
I think so.
I think so.
I would have to agree. I think personally, I love. It's crazy because these might be the 2 most different songs of the 4. Like, because one
really
of them is
are just
always heavy.
Complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah,
like,
and
if they were put in a boxing match, I think Blue Dream wins by unanimous or wins by like split decision.
Yeah.
After 12 rounds of just fucking knock'em sock'em robots.
I would
at least know at this point that Need Money will not be number 1 because we will not put it over Blue Dream. Okay.
Fuck. Damn it.
I know.
I mean,
sucks.
but I also think that just like objectively, I think Blue Dream's better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like,
I do
being weird and like layered and all over the place is awesome.
Yeah.
But like the fact that Blue Dream is technically like simpler, but it's just better. Like there's no other way to like put it. It's just a better song.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Yeah.
I also like just straight up like John Mess in one and not as much in the other. So like that's really the only thing I can see other than the obvious like tone difference. But like the only like subjective thing I could like find is that in one of them I like John Mess more than the other.
Yeah.
And it's Blue Dream. So fuck.
So what one do we want to talk about next? We got Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex and The Raw with Human Hair Part 2.5. Only 2 songs we have not talked about yet.
Oh boy.
We gotta pick one and just throw it into the fray. Kyle, you have to pick. I'm putting it on you because you look like you're really up for it.
Heat Seeking Ghost.
Heat Seeking Ghost? Okay.
Heat Seeking Ghost.
Let's talk about Heat Seeking Ghost.
Because
who wants to go first?
Honestly, I'm thinking I want to hear about that one first because I know that you're passionate about it, Tyler. And if I'm being honest with you, I think it's a really good song, and it definitely deserves to be in the top 4, but kind of where my brain is leaning is that there's 3 and then this one a little bit. But I want you to sell me on it a little bit more. Personally,
okay, yeah,
but like I'm willing to like change that up personally. That's my instinct.
I might end up agreeing with you. I don't know. This is just like this is another song I'm very biased toward. I have a history of putting the songs I'm biased toward in like bottom spots. So maybe I'll end up putting this one 4 after I'm done talking about it. I mean,
we'll see what happens.
I think like literally every DGD one we've done, I've been like, this is my favorite song of the album, but fuck it, put it at the bottom. So Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex, I think, is one of the catchiest songs on the album. Starts off like 100 miles an hour, just straight up in your face. You know, the chorus is just has some of the punchiest, catchiest drum beats on the album. Johnny Craig throwing out some just some bars of fire, right? Just it's so clean, so good. And I think the song in general, it features so many different switch ups, so many different beats, and just it features some, like I said before, I think it has arguably some of the best drums on the album, hands down. And that's saying something because the drums on every single song in this album are incredible. I think it just like, it features so many of the same, it features a lot of the same high points that we've kind of talked about in a lot of these other songs before. You know, it's very layered, it's kind of chaotic, but it manages to like do it in a way where it doesn't feel like overwhelming. It just like, it makes sense, it works somehow, even though there's just kind of this cacophony of different sounds and like elements going into it, you know. And also like the rap breakdown at the end with John Mess like mixed into it is like the raddest shit of all time. And like, yeah. I mean, I think there's so much to love about this song. I'm not gonna be like massively butthurt if it ends up being 4 or whatever, but like, I just think it's so catchy, it's so clean, it's so layered and diverse. It has rap screamo. Like, what song has rap screamo like put together at like the same time? Like, fucking nothing. Like, even the other rap breaks on this album, like none of them blend it with the screaming, you know? It's like, it's just such a cool thing. And I don't know, it's got a cool name too. That's worth something, right?
That's also fair.
So that's, I don't know.
Honestly, your strongest point yet, I think.
What do you guys think of that song? Okay, Brennan.
He's gone.
That's cool.
Oh, he's back.
He became the ghost.
He became the ghost again.
Man, this is probably like, I hate to say it's like the catchiest song of the album, but like, especially at the 135 mark, when it's just like, it's after the first chorus and like John Mess is kind of like taking over, there's a little bit of chaos, and then like it immediately like strips back down to like, it's just like a nice little groove, and like Johnny Craig just singing is like, ooh, like, give me more, like, it's so good. And then like from there it like kind of like leads to like a little bit more turmoil and chaos with like Johnny Mess taking over, and then like the song's not like uber technical like I feel like The Robot with Human Hair Part 2 and a half is. Like that song definitely has like a lot more like intricacy going on. But like the Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex is more like groovy and catchy, and like it's more like a vibe track. No, obviously not the level Blue Dream, but like,
right. Honestly,
it's just like ooh, like I can see people like skateboarding and listening to this shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex is like a halfway between like Blue Dream and then like a more standard track on the album, right? Like it's kind of it kind of takes like the best of both worlds in that sense and kind of blends them together into a song. That's kind of how I've always felt about it anyway. Kyle, what do you
I'm listening to the one part of Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex where like it's just like almost like tapping, and it's just like rap and like spoken word going on, and I'm like, ew, it's so tasty. Kyle, what's up?
I really fucking like the song, and the more I listen to it, I really like it. The only thing that I'm kind of like iffy on, and it's kind of like a reoccurring thing, I guess, with me, is that just some of the effects that they used on the voices. Like, I don't know why, but that one John Mess part where it's like kind of just him, and they have that one effect on him, like a little bit in the song. It almost sounds like he's coming through like a Hasbro toy speaker. Like, it's so weird.
I mean, I guess you're kind of right.
Like, you know what part I mean, though? Like,
yeah.
It's like he's like so distorted in a weird way, and I think there's other moments where they add like effects on the voices as well. That like, I'm not like bothered by them like I was with the effects I talked about earlier. I think it was in Poncheesy, maybe. I can't remember for sure. Everything's fucking blending together at this point. But it's just something that like kind of catches me a little weird, because I think that this album would be better if they just kind of let vocals be vocals more often in this album. I think they kind of alter sounds in this album a little too much, in my opinion. I think if they just let it happen, I think I would have liked it more. But that's more of a personal thing. However, I think like this whole entire song is just like the word that I think of is bouncy. Like it is just constantly just like energized and bouncing. It's almost like a very like classically like rock like powerful song where like it has like this really like flowing guitar part that moves the song along, and it's not like chuggy or anything. It's just like this kind of like waving guitar part that like is just moving the whole song. And like I do like that layered stuff a lot that happens near the end. Like I do like this song a lot. You did it. I don't know if it's 3-1 anymore. It's close.
Well,
it's 4 again.
Here's the new debate. Do we think in a battle between Heat-Seeking Ghost of Sex or Blue Dream, which one wins? I think it's Blue Dream.
Blue Dream.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Blue
so
Dream.
Blue Dream still the top for now. Now, when comparing Heat-Seeking Ghost of Sex and what was the other one that we
Need Money.
The Robot with Human Hair 2.5.
Oh wait, the one we
no.
have talked about?
Need Money. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone locked. Yeah. So Need Money versus Heat-Seeking Ghost. Now what do we think?
I'm planting my flag and Need Money. I think it's better.
I am going to go with my bias just to put Brennan in a tough spot. I'm going to stick with my bias. I'm going to go with Heat-Seeking Ghost is better than Need Money. Brennan.
I will say something you mentioned was that like the Heat-Seeking Ghost takes like both ends of the spectrum of Need Money and Blue Dream, kind of like how you're saying, it kind of like finds that middle ground really well. I think Blue Dream and Need Money are the different ends of the spectrum, and they both are technically better than that middle ground.
I can see how you would come to that conclusion. I'm still gonna stick with my bias. Brennan, emerge from your cloud and
I'm looking at myself in anguish. Holy shit! Oh, man. This is tough. Oh, man.
Are you a fan of the underdog?
Are you a fan of the truth?
Of truth? Man. All right.
Fuck the truth, man.
Need Money is definitely... Fuck, man. This is...
I like that I can look at your eyes if you defy me. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I like that now we could just like cast our judgment on the tiebreaker now.
Yep. We're just like, what's it gonna be, Brennan? What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Blind myself with my fucking webcam light, apparently. That was not a good decision. I probably looked great in that shot too.
Man, this is... On one hand, you have a song that, like, it's catchy. It does everything that I think... It's, like, vibey. Obviously not Blue Dream vibey, but damn, it's just, like, a good feel-good, like, almost like a summer track. And then you have one that's, like... It's like a breakdown, but, like, not in the traditional sense. And it's like there's a lot more intricacy, there's build up, there's fuck, man.
Go with your heart. Because we still have another song we have to factor in here too.
Oh, I know. I'm eating up a lot of time, and I'm sorry for that. I think it's been a good run. I think Heat-Seeking Ghost of Sex is better.
Yes.
Just because Need Money is absolutely dominated by John Mass. There's very little Johnny Craig. It's albeit very tasty. I love the breakdown. Going into this, I knew that Need Money was going to be like it's going to be like the dark horse. It's going to be the song that like I wasn't expecting to make it up this high, but I was like hoping that it did.
I love that I can just see how sad Kyle is now when he loses one of these debates.
It's every time, Tyler. He
looks
always
so
sides
defeated.
with you, Tyler. I thought I had
That's
the
not true.
No,
That's
it absolutely is, and I thought I had the high ground because I picked the chuggier song. I was like,
ground.
I'm playing to his strengths. I have the heavier song. I can do this. He likes heavy. I'm gonna win, and I still didn't win. Dude.
I love heavy, but Dance Gavin Dance is always a yin and a yang, and
He's taken your
Kyle.
side before in previous ones, such as the last Dance Gavin Dance one. But we can't get into that now because we have to keep pushing ahead. We have one more song that we still have to talk about. And Kyle, I'm going to let you start with it because this is the one that you tabled to begin with.
No,
Tell us a little bit.
I tabled Robot with Human Hair Part 2.5.
Oh, that's right, because you tabled Knee Money. Well, then, Brennan, you start by telling us what is so special about Robot with Human Hair Part 2.
Man, where Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex doesn't necessarily have like the intricacy, Robot with Human Hair just nails it. Like there's guitar work like in spades. Like this song to me, like it's just so many licks. Like especially even in the intro, like there's so many licks and shit going on in the background. Like how the song kind of like breaks itself up, where it's just like chord and like John Mess, like kind of like working in tandem with each other, and then how it just drops and it's just like sweep picking almost, and it's the chorus, and like Johnny Craig of course he's not soaring in this chorus, like he's actually in kind of like a lower register, but like man, just like hearing the guitar work in the background and how it like bounces off of Johnny Craig is just like ew, like every time I hear it it's just awesome. And like the chord progression that's going on in the chorus isn't like too common, so like it's always like refreshing to kind of hear that. But man, like and then after the first chorus it's just kind of like shreddy, but like broken down, kind of like there's no singing for a minute, it's just like, you know, guitar work. Like man,
Yeah.
I can't even like I'm listening to it now like as I'm speaking, and at the 2:30 mark there's a part where Johnny Craig just takes over, and it's just like chords going on in the background, and it's just him just fucking like ugh, like damn, like he's just singing, like he just takes it over. And to me it's like a true showcase of like what he's capable of, and kind of like reminiscent I feel to DBM1, where like in like Times New Roman and Lemon Meringue Tie, like there's times where he just like takes off, and it's like Robot with Human Hair, that's like how he kind of does it in this song. While like other songs, like I get a bit of a different vibe, but like this is where he like kind of showcases himself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then even like the outro, like as it hits the chorus again, and it's just more like sweep picking and stuff. But then like the outro is obviously like different than the rest of the track because it's like slow and kind of like it's like a true like to me like a real wind down without like actually like fading away.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's like a perfect end to a song that to me is just like guitar acrobatics and like Johnny Craig and like everything just kind of like cohesion and like meshing and shit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with like the part where, and I had this in my notes too, like the part where Johnny Craig just like absolutely fucking lets loose. Like it's just, you don't get that. Like obviously like in Tillian era stuff, like he has his own version of letting loose too, but like it's very different. So like, I don't know. I love it when I hear Johnny Craig just fucking go for it, you know? And I think this song has like the best example of that. And it's just, it's so good, you know? And everything else you said too, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Kyle can agree because he was here for the entire conversation. And
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is now that we have face cams, I can't hide when I go pee. It sucks.
Yeah, I know. I can't either. I've done it many times, and I can't do that anymore. And it fucking like, sucks.
Nope.
I'm sure you could see me shifting a ton because I had to pee, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just
I thought you were doing it. I thought you were just doing it out of grief.
I mean,
out of
it
sheer
was partially
spite.
that, and then I realized it was also because my bladder was about to erupt, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go because you know this is the new normal. Get ready for it." And my bladder's tiny, and I'm gonna leave and go pee sometimes.
Yeah. This is just awkwardness we can't avoid now that we're on camera. Yeah, no, but like I I agree with pretty much everything Brennan said. I mean, I don't really need to add any more to it. But Kyle, do you want to give any sort of anything about the Robot with Human Hair before we wrap all this ish up?
Where are you two leaning right now?
Personally?
Yeah. Because I heard a lot of good things.
I'm going to say that I will at least want it above Need Money. It's going to be a hard sell to get me to put it over Heat Seeking Ghost, but like I could honestly go either way. I think at this point it's safe to say that nothing's going to beat Blue Dream. I don't think anything's going to beat Blue Dream.
I'm kind of leaning that way too.
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat on that one.
I think, are we also in agreement that Need Money is going to be 4? Because I think, Brennan, you want this over Need Money also. Kyle, I know you don't, but Brennan, I think with how you just gushed about this song, I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that you're going to want this over Need Money. And I agree. So I think Need Money is going to be locked at 4. Blue Dream is going to be locked at 1.
I like
so
that.
We just need to decide 2 and 3 between Heat Seeking, Ghost of Sex, and The Robot with Human Hair, part 2.5.
I really fucking love this song, and I was tantalizing the idea that this might take number 1. No joke.
Okay.
Because I think this song is fucking incredible. Yeah. Of the Robot with Human Hairs, it's like one of my faves. Mm-hmm. Like I think that again, we talk about that roller coaster, and I think that this song is the best on the album. Somewhat even better than Blue Dream in my opinion. I think overall Blue Dream is a better song, but I really like that like journey you go on through this song so much. It's like that intro is just super fucking energized. The vocals from Craig and the chorus are really good. The energy like breaks down after that chorus, like this whole new idea where the drums get a little more syncopated, and Will Swan keeps going with that fucking nasty clinic of his guitar riffs, and it's delicious. And then John Mess comes in, and he fucking just joins that kick-ass therapy that Swan's just healing us with, and then it's just like abrupt fucking transition back to the chorus, and it's just like build up again with Mess and Craig together into like this really nice ending. And I'm just like, yeah. Wow, this song is just like a really well thought out, lots of great parts everywhere. Everyone's doing great. I think that this was the song I was thinking of when I was thinking that Mess accompanies it really well with the way he's screaming. Is because I think he comes in and just joins things that are happening. And I think that's like the best way. That's kind of how it is in Blue Dream a little bit too, where like he's with something else happening, and that's when I think he shines, because the sound that he has in this, I think, on his own is just a little odd. It gets better with time, obviously. But he really just elevates every moment. They almost use him as like a way to build up a moment. Because like something's happening with guitar, and then he comes in to rap with it, and the guitar gets more intense. And then you get back into that abrupt transition to the chorus. And then it comes back to the end with Craig keep singing out of that chorus. And then John Mess joins it again to heighten that moment again. Like it's just constantly building and building and building, and then there's like moments where it comes back down and comes back up, and it's like, damn man, like this song really fucking hits it on the mark, and I really like it. I think it's really fucking good. I think it's better than Heat Seeking Ghost.
Honestly, the more we talk about it, the more I kind of have to objectively agree with that, as much as it pains me. But yeah, I mean, it's incredible, and I think that it deserves to be number 2.
Kyle, here's where I side with you, because Tyler, even though you literally just said, but the Robot with Human Hair, part 2.5. For the last like week, I have like, it's almost like whenever someone gets like really naughty thoughts in their head and they hope to not act on it, like, I legit thought very long and hard about putting this over Blue Dream. Like, this is like Blue Dream's the heavy.
I had those naughty thoughts.
Like Blue Dream is the heavyweight champ.
I've never had the urge to commit adultery on Blue Dream. It's always been my baby. It will be for all time.
This is like my guilty pleasure.
Blue Dream.
This is like my guilty pleasure with Honey Revenge. Like, fucking. Blue Dream is the heavyweight champ, and to me, the Robot with Human Hair part 2.5 is the number 1 contender. and there's a title bout that's going on right now in my head, but I think that like it's the best song other than Blue Dream. I feel like for me, it's got to be number 2.
Yeah,
I agree.
I can agree. That's it. We did
It
it.
is.
It's done.
Holy fuck!
We made it to the end, boys.
That
With
was
like
remarkably
very
peaceful.
minimal arguments. Kudos to us for having almost no quarrels the entire time.
Yeah. I'm still hurt. This always happens.
I
We
know.
had a good time, and I'm still in pain.
I don't think we ever get through any of them without
man.
any injuries.
Need money.
But, you know,
God,
I know. Hey, at least Need Money made it to the top 4. I mean,
I was happy, and my goal was to get it to 3. I like the entire time. I fully felt that Robot with Human Hair and Blue Dream were gonna be 2 than 1. But I really was feeling Need Money at 3. But I was outvoted.
yeah.
And it's
I mean,
honest.
you're only
I
one
was
spot
open
off,
to it
bro.
the whole. Yeah, I was open to it the whole time. It's just the more we talked about those other songs, I was like, I can't. Like, I want to. It's very tempting. I like the song. I can't. I can't justify putting it above any of those other ones. But
Yeah, I think 4
that's
is a
just-
very well-deserved spot.
yeah,
It's the only time that I've gone, I don't agree, though. And that's something that doesn't happen a lot. Often it's like, I'm like just like on the opposite side of every opinion. But this time, every time there was an opinion between us that you guys sided against me, I was like, I could see what you mean. That was the only time in this whole thing that I was like, no, I don't agree at all. But I lose anyways. So, but it's okay.
That's the way it goes sometimes. We've all.
way
I
the
think
cookie
each of us have all been there at one point or another in these podcasts. So
There it
I
is.
guess
Just take
we're
it in
gonna-
stride, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
every
I
time.
know.
But it's
Like
okay.
every time. Take it.
it's okay, Kyle.
That's
We
all right.
still love you.
Yeah.
I love you, bro.
All right, we're gonna get into the recap.
Here we
We're
go.
gonna get into the end card, and then we're gonna peace out, as they say in Canada.
Peace
So-
out.
At number 11, we have Elder Goose. Number 10, Pounce Bounce. Number 9, Spooks. Number 8, Swan Soup. Number 7, Frivolously Poncheesied. Number 6, Purple Rain. Number 5, Thug City. Number 4, Need Money. Number 3, Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex. Number 2, The Robot with Human Hair, Part 2 and a half. And number 1, as it should be, forever and all time, Blue Dream. We've done it. Round of applause. Round of applause for us. Put it in post. There's 1,000 people right behind that curtain listening to this, and they're all just clapping away. And congrats to us for getting through our first webcammed episode of the album reviews, and we hope y'all liked it at home. I can see you now. I'm peering through
You can see me now.
the
What
device that
fuck?
you're watching this on, and I am looking directly in your eyes, and I am telling you to please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of our stuff, and comment below your personal list of your rankings, because, you know,
You better
music's
fucking like and
subjective.
subscribe.
And, yeah, what he said. I don't know where you are relative to me in the... I'm going to guess that you're... there. I'm going to guess that you're right there. Listen to Brennan, and
to
and
me.
do that.
Listen to me.
Subscribe. Make us happy. If
A
you're
lot of you
listening-
people that watch this shit aren't subscribed. Fucking subscribe.
And now I can guilt shame you if you're only listening to the audio version of this. You missed out on seeing our beautiful faces and banter and Kyle going and leaving to go pee at one point. Like,
You missed
if you're
me
listening to the
kissing the
audio
camera.
version, now you have a reason to watch the YouTube version, because you get to it's like you're here with us in our weird remote setup. So
Yeah.
We're all just
You're here
one
with
big
us
talking
separate.
a lot family. So make sure you
Yeah.
guys are comment a bunch of cock. Leave a fucking comment.
It's back.
It's back. I don't know if the episode where we originated that has been posted, but I hope so.
Hopefully.
See what happens.
Well, if you guys comment, you'll be exclusive to the Comment a Bunch Cock Club.
But you're all listening a lot, lads. So, you know, keep being one of those. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTubey things that everyone asks you to do. Ring that bell. Ring a ding ding. Put it in post. Put the ringing. Bing.
Do it.
All, bunch of different ringing noises. Just keep them going. Just keep them constantly rising up over me. There's so many bells happening right now. Wow, it's
What is happening?
if you haven't clicked out yet, go watch some of our other stuff. We do more album reviews, and we do other things too. We recently started a new show that may or may not have started been posting. That's really fun that we want to keep doing, so support that. Also, this is a terrible ending. throwing a hard cut to me doing this correctly. Follow us on all those social media things that we kind of post on sometimes. At the Talk Slop Boys on everything imaginable. And I think that's all the business that we had to throw out before we end the podcast. So we have been the Talk Slop Boys, and we will talk a whole lot more next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Goodbye.